Economic growth is up, stronger than expert expected at 2.9%. We're growing. And wages are up, and they're growing faster than inflation. Over the past 6 months, inflation has gone down every month, and God willing will continue to do that. Manufacturing jobs continue to go up stronger than any time in the last 40 years. Economic growth is up, stronger than expert expected at 2.9%. We're growing. Jobs are the highest in American number and the highest in American history. And wages are up. They're growing faster than inflation. Over the past 6 months, inflation has gone down every month, and God willing will continue to do that.
We're living under the gaze of a balding ego. Money only works if everyone believes.
Today's a big day because 3 really big things happened. So the first one is the Federal Reserve FOMC meeting. Okay, so at this meeting, they decided to not cut interest rates. That was expected. We already covered that in our previous video. The second big thing from this meeting is that they changed their projection.
Spend your dollars now. Tomorrow will be less. Spend your dollars 'cause it brings you happiness.
The Federal Reserve prefers to look at core inflation, takes out food and energy prices, and that came in at 3.4%. And that was progress because it's at 3.9% in January. Now, I want to tell you this because it's so important that you understand this. And I'm going to tell it to you just very straightforward. The Federal Reserve will start cutting interest rates in 2 events. So the first event is if they get inflation under control and they don't feel so confident that they have, so they're not cutting interest rates. The second event is if there's an emergency, something breaks in the economy or the financial markets, and they have to cut interest rates to save the day, right? So I'm gonna give you a summary of what happened with this report that was released this morning. I'm gonna give you the 4 biggest components of the report that you need to know. So we're gonna start with energy. So the report says that energy prices are up 3.7% year over year. So that might not sound bad. Energy going up 3.7%, but that's actually very bad. I'll tell you why. In January, energy prices were down by 4.6%. So that's negative 4.6%. And today it's up 3.7%. So that's an 8.3% swing. So this year, energy prices are up by 8.3%. So that is fast. That is a lot. Now, let me tell you about food. And before you laugh or write a nasty comment down below, just hear me out. Just listen to this. So the report says that food prices are up 2.1% year over year. So listen, I'm going to try to keep it professional here, but I have to be honest, okay? So some of the figures like this, they're just very difficult for me to believe. Like food prices, like seriously, like food prices are up 2.1% year over year. Like I'm skeptical. Like that's just how I honestly feel. So sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my time or just wasting my life just reading you these bogus numbers. But then again, I think that it's very important that you know what the government is reporting, what they're saying, you know, even though they might not be fully accurate. So I hope you can understand my perspective. I'm just trying to be honest here. So the report says that food prices are up by 2.1%. Last report, it said food prices were up by 2.2% year over year. But I do want to point out that, and this is an undeniable fact, that the government changes the method in which they and how they calculate inflation, and that includes food prices. So you can look it up for yourself. It's in the report. You can just look up discontinued items. As I pointed out to you in the last reports, they took out ground coffee. The series ID was 717312.